Hello everybody, my name is Antonio Pazulis. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I posted a video yesterday doing a lighting breakdown on a video I just shot for a client. It's a fitness video, but I wasn't really happy with the way that I did things. It felt kind of rushed, kind of felt like something I could have done a lot better. And watching it back, I realized there wasn't really information that could have been gathered from that video. So I want to take another crack at it today and make it even shorter than yesterday. And we'll switch to the laptop that I've got in front of me. We'll get started on this breakdown. Let's do it. A little backstory on this shoot. We went to a gym in Toronto and we had 2 hours to shoot. Originally we were supposed to have 4 hours, but you know the name of the game. Things change, usually for the worse, and you get screwed over in the process. So you need to adapt. And once you wipe away the tears and you you suck it up and you're ready to present yourself in society again, you get over it and you move on with the problem. So as you can see here, pretty basic setup. We had 2 hours to do this, which means realistically we had 1 hour to film because we had 1 hour that we had to divide between setting up the lights and tearing down the lights. The gym was a location we've shot at before. We were very familiar with it, but we only had 2 guys working on it, me on camera and my buddy Arsalan doing the lighting. And we knew that there were some windows that we wanted to black out so we can have more control of the entire room and the lighting setup. That was going out the window now. We didn't have time to do that. You don't have time to do these things. And sometimes it's not about getting the absolute best image. It's about getting the best image out of the situation you've been given, the cards you've been given, the hand you've been dealt. That is the real name of the game. Love this drawing tool. It's terrible. These windows right here were supposed to be blacked out, and we did not get a chance to do that because we didn't have enough time. So what we decided to do instead was to draw the blinds and see how the ambient lighting was affected in the room. And we realized, the spills on the walls over here aren't too terrible, as you can see. It's causing this slight gradient across the room and it's keeping it pretty neutral, and it's not affecting Gabe too much. Gabe is our subject. So because of that reason, we were like, okay, maybe we can do this without blacking out the windows if we just pump up the output on our lights that we're going to put on our subject. So we go to our first shots. This is our first shot here. Now, as you can see, ambient lighting in the background right over here. And it is looking good. It's looking pretty neutral. It's a darker shade than the highest exposed spots on Gabe. So it's not kind of overpowering him. So that's a good thing. And as you can see, we have 2 different light sources besides that. So now we've gone from a potential 3-point lighting setup to a 2 lighting setup. And that saves us time, minimizes each new setup that's going to come forward, and makes us happy, because we're not rushing on a 1 hour shoot. We have a hard daylight coming over here on Gabe, and that is a light source over here. Oh, come on. With the softbox on it. Look how terrible that chicken scratch is. And this light source is literally coming from over here. It's hidden behind the chin-up machine, and it is a Aperture Lightstorm 60X on a cool daylight setting with a newer light softbox on it. That's double diffused with the grid, so it stops more spill from happening in the room, and that is hitting him and acting as a rim light. But you'll see in the later shots, it acts more like a key light when we move the camera on the other side of the 180-degree line. And yes, we do that because this is a montage sequence. This is not a narrative continuity-based shot scene. This is a montage. So you can do what you want as long as it feels right. Okay, the other light that we have is right over here. It is a Nanlite Forza 60C on a similar color temperature. It's actually, it doesn't look like it in this shot, but it's technically on a cooler daylight setting than the Lightstorm is over here. But what this is doing over here is it's literally just angled up at the ceiling and is softened that way. And we have the modifier on it. We have that modifier dish, the intensifier. So it's not spilling on the ceiling. It's got a 45-degree angle beam. So we can use that to angle our light output and kind of twist it around on the light stand until we get a soft key light essentially on this side. It's a key light now. So the Forza 60C is over here. It's angled at the ceiling. It's giving us that nice soft key. We're getting that fill from the ambient lighting, and then the Lightstorm 60X is our hair light, our rim light coming over here. Two lights. The ambient light, like we said, is coming from the windows that have been, the blinds have been rolled down, so very minimal output from that. But it's causing this little split lighting and then this little shadow region in the middle, which is giving us this intensity that we want and this shape and this depth to the shot. Only with two lights and one modifier, that's it. As bare bones as it gets, man. So this is the next shot I want to go through. This is we're breaking the 180-degree angle that I'm talking about. So you can see what we're doing on the other side now. Now this side, we got ambient lighting, which is, as you can see, this over here, this ambient lighting is caused by the Forza that's coming from over here, and it's hitting the wall, and we're seeing a bit more of a bright ambient lighting on this side. But that's okay, because we kind of established it without saying that it's a fluorescent light that's overhead, because most gyms, they've got that fluorescent lighting overhead anyway. You're not working out in pitch darkness. So we've got that going on over here. We've got still pretty much the same setup over here. The Lightstorm with the softbox, high up, tilted down, and it's very, very soft. And as you can see, it's barely touching him here. Over here, this is the Lightstorm doing its job. And this is the line where the Forza is hitting him. Oops. And that's hitting the chest a bit. It opens up at the chest, which is nice. We still get that streak of shadow. It's in a different spot than the last shot that we have, but that's because he's not set up the same way. Now instead of leaning in and, covering his face with his arm a bit and being super intense and moody, he's actually in the middle of the workout now. He's in the middle of the workout. He's doing some curls, and that is why, though the lighting has changed slightly, we can get away with it. In fact, what's cool about this is the hair light now becomes the fill light, which is the Lightstorm, which is over here. And then the Forza, which is bouncing on the ceiling on the right side of Gabe, it was the key in the last shot. And guess what? It is still the key in this shot. So, hey, we're getting a bit of continuity bleeding over, even though we switched the 180-degree axis. And that's beautiful. That's synergy. This is another shot that we've got here that's along the similar vein. What I like about this is we've got leading lines swooshing across the screen. He's doing barbell rows, and that kind of matches up with the leading lines that we have going on here. It's a beautiful look. Gabe has shadow in every muscle group as well as highlight. So you're getting the exact shape of the muscles while they do their thing, while they're working out. You're really seeing which muscle group he's working out. Last shot I want to go over is this one right here. Now, this is the wide, where you could literally see that the window is motivating this spill, and you see it throughout the entire shoot. Gabe is he's still got a bit of shadow going on here, which is really cool that we maintain that. And that hair light, which is like, the continuity's strong enough here that it makes sense. And I like the gradient pushing this way. It gets a little bit darker, and it's very, 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 very shaped. You get a lot of the sheen from the ducts, which I really love. I think, again, that adds more depth to the shot. And all it was ambient lighting. In fact, most of the time when you're angled towards a window, the ambient lighting that comes from that, if you're able to maintain that exposure, not clip the image by the window, you get some beautiful natural shape that comes from that. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite parts of shooting. We had 2 lights in a suitcase. We had 1 hour to shoot. We had a softbox. We had ambient lighting from the windows. We kind of made quick game time decisions. How can we save time and get this done properly? How can we do this without wasting the time and having to rush our shots and getting a subpar video? You know, we went on Gigster. We found this gym for really cheap. It was like $30 an hour. So for 2 hours, that's $60 plus some service fees. You don't need a permit. You come in with your guy, and as long as everyone's professional and arrives on time, you can get this done very easily. And I'm shooting handheld with the Blackmagic. I'm shooting handheld. I have my camera bag wrapped around my body at kind of just under chest level, and I've got my camera resting on that. Just like, you know, that product, the sack product that they have out there now, you don't need the sack when you've got a camera bag. You just sling that around you and you practice it, you know, go outside, get some exterior shots, practice that yourself. And I'm kind of crouching down at times, and for more extreme low angles, I'm literally on my knees looking up at Gabe, and I'm getting some kinetic movement and kinetic energy. And I'm pulling focus myself, because that's how OGs do it. Not you Sony fanboy beta. No, but in all seriousness, if I had that autofocus capability, man, the amount of kinetic energy I could have added additionally to this shot. Because I got the Blackmagic, but I don't have a guy to pull focus. We don't have time to set up the nucleus and set the A and B point and get the rails going. And that's so much more time that we don't have to do setting up marks. This is a run and gun shoot. Would have been perfect on Sony, actually. But hey, we still got it done. Now you can get it done too, very easily. If you believe, you gotta believe. You gotta go out there and you gotta try it out for yourself. And the most important thing, before I went out and shot this, I went online and I got reference photos from other gym fitness video ads, any video of the like, and I made a mood board and I discussed it with the talent, and we agreed upon the shots beforehand. We agreed upon the workouts that he was going to do. We did, I think it was like 4 or 5 workouts, and he did 2 sets of each workout because he had to take breaks in between and to rest, because this is a very taxing, physically exhausting activity for him to do. And we only had 1 hour to do it. The previs was crucial. Look up your favorite videographer, cinematographer. Look at their work. That's kind of the inspiration. You're not going to copy it verbatim. You're just going to take some inspiration and add your own twist to it. And then over time, you'll get confidence in your abilities, and you'll know what is required from each shot, and it'll become more and more original, and your eye will become more refined. Just, you got to start with the basics. You got to learn from what's come before you can start doing your own thing. So I believe I referenced Kofi Yaboa. Very, very talented man. I love his content. I love his video production, and the fitness stuff that he does is exactly right down my alley. And that's kind of what we tried to emulate in this video. And I don't know if you could tell. If you're watching this and you picked that off, that this is Kofi's eye that we tried to kind of gain inspiration from, good on you. That means that your eye is pretty refined. I think I've blown enough smoke up your butt for one day. My name is Antonio Bazulis. Thank you for joining me on this lighting breakdown for today. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please do so. And click that bell so you can get notified for all the good stuff that's coming ahead. I'm trying to release 1 video a week, trying to get on top of that for you guys. Lots of great content to come. And please put in the comment section what you would like to see more of. Do you want to see more lighting breakdowns? Do you want to see more of my rants? I love doing all of them, so it doesn't make a difference to me. And like I always say, we might as well all be enjoying it together. So it helps me make better content. It helps you become more entertained. Do it. Put it in the comments and have a good day.